Hi guys, welcome back to another video. In today's video, I'm looking at a game called This War of Mine, the board game. Now the reason why it's called the board game is because This War of Mine is based off of a somewhat popular PC video game. Now, full disclaimer, I have not played the video game. I was not aware of the video game until I heard of this board game. I didn't know anything about it until now, because I've played this game a few times. And so yeah, full disclosure, this is a game based off of a video game that I have not played. So, moving forward, I want this video to be kind of short, just kind of talking about the video, because there's a lot that I want to talk about in a much longer video that's more of a discussion kind of thing. And so I'm not going to be doing that here, and I think it'll be apparent of what I really want to talk about in a few minutes. So this is just going to be, just a disclaimer, this is just going to be a short video going over some of the game. So first things first, before we get started, and kind of the reason why I want to do a longer video on this game. This game, by its own admission, it's on the box, but I'm not going to try to zoom in and stuff, is for ages 18 plus. The reason for that being is that this theme of this game is very dark. It's very thematically dark, I should say. There is war in it. Obviously, it's in the title. There's some very realistic death. But not like military death, but like death of innocence. Of innocent people, I should say, not innocence. There is suicide. There is alcohol consumption, alcoholism, drugs. There are people that are just all around bad people. So I think that might give you a clue of kind of what I want to talk about in a much longer video, but not for now. Anyways, for now, this War of Mine thematically takes place during a kind of a fictitious Eastern European city that's going through a civil war. And so there's a huge war that is going on in the streets. There's tanks, there's bombs, there's shellings, there's military in the streets, and there are a lot of scenes that you read where military, it feels kind of like the Holocaust, sort of like the military just shoots people, lines them up and shoots them, goes into the house, pulls them out into the street, shoots them in the head. I mean, it was kind of like a Schindler's List sort of thing with some of the encounters and stuff in here. So that's the theme. Oops, I got my hand in there. That's the theme of the game, is it's during a civil war. You are playing some people that are just civilians, just trying to survive. The war has gone on for over a year, and you are in an abandoned house, a broken down abandoned house, just trying to survive and live with some other people, trying not to go hungry, trying not to go insane, trying to just survive. Then that is the goal of the game. So the category of this game is a cooperative survival game. Now, I didn't say cooperative horror game, because this is not a horror game. There are no zombies in this. This is a very realistic, very like real world. In fact, it's inspired by real events that happened in Sarajevo, Bosnia. And so let's get into it. Here is the board setup. It is a huge board, which I actually really enjoy, because the board is big because it has spots for all the cards. As you can see, there are a lot of cards in this game, at least decks all around here and down here, as I showed. And so the board is really large, but it basically just kind of tells you where to put everything. So you kind of shuffle up all the decks, and you just kind of know where to put everything. And the cat goes right there. And so that's kind of cool. It's a big board. It takes up a lot of your table, but at least it's all kind of aesthetically pleasing. You got all this stuff where it needs to be. So if you can see at all, you start with your characters here. You start with 3 kind of random characters. They're living in a house. I know the artwork is a little grim. If you can tell, there's kind of an upstairs and a downstairs, but this is a house. There's like an outside porch over there, and you're basically just surviving in this house, and you're going through all of these different phases. you're trying to feed your people. So this is a feed your people kind of game. You have food that you're going to be trying to find. You're going to have water that you're going to need. The water, the little blue tokens, that's your water. Everyone's going to need to drink water, eat food every day. And so in order to do that, you're going to be kind of exploring this house, going through and finding things. And also at night, people will come and try to steal things from you. So at night, there's a guard. You can't see, it's covered. There's a guard position where you can have some people sleep at night, or you can have some person stand guard, because rest assured, people will come and steal from you or hurt you, or the military will come and find you. So at night, you will guard your little house here, and then you can also send people out into the world at night to these locations. These locations are from a deck that are random. I'm not going to get into the whole exploring thing. There's a noise token, and there's a whole bunch of things going on with that. So I'm just going to leave it at that. At night, you basically resolve what happens at night, and then also what happens kind of out at these different locations. Your people will be down here, which I have set up. Try to keep the glare off. So here we have Marco, Anton, and Sveta, and they're denoted by their colors: blue, yellow, orange. So they got their rings blue, yellow, orange, so that way you can differentiate between them. And they'll have their own kind of little abilities and text that I won't go into. The main part of the game are these status things here. So you can tell their hunger is at level 2. And there are a lot of statuses in this game. There's hunger, there's misery, there's fatigue for like staying up all night, there's illness because our house has holes in it and it's becoming winter. That's another thing. It takes place during the onset of winter, so it gets cold. As you can see up there, kind of at the top, there's a cold track, and you will get cold and sick and die. And so the game comes with a whole little tray of all the different like status things and equipment and things that you need to play. It's a fully cooperative game. There's no trader. You are basically sitting around a table figuring out, where do we go? How do we use this person? What's this person going to do? What's this person going to do? You're resolving some cards as you go throughout the day. Every round is a whole new day, and if any of your characters get up to 4 of any of the statuses, so 2, you could raise it to 3. If they don't eat, their hunger will go up. If they ever get to 4, then you will read from a book that I don't have. It's kind of sitting away from me. You'll read from a book a bunch of what happens to them. Usually they die, and it's usually pretty grim. Out here, there are numbers on the cards for stories that you, again, will look in the book, or you can use an app. I recommend using the app. It's pretty sweet. And you can use the app to find stories, which, again, are very, very dark and 18 plus. And so that's kind of the thing of this game. The one last thing I'm going to mention about the game is I guess 2 things. It's very long to play. If you don't die immediately, which you usually do, you'll die pretty fast. If you don't die, then the game is a very long game at 3 to 4 hours. So this is a pretty big kind of Axis and Allies sort of commitment. There is, the last thing I did want to mention is the journal, which the journal gives you the setup for the game, which is a little chaotic, as you can see. But then also, you use it for all of the actions. So in the morning, you do this. During the day, it tells you all the rules. So it's kind of like you learn as you play. Then you flip, dusk, you do this. As you see, people eat, and dusk, and they drink water. And then in the evening, they either go sleep in a bed, they go to bed, or they go out scavenging, which is going out, like I said, to the locations to like find stuff, because you need to get more food, you need to find more water. Then you flip through. You do the night raid, which is basically people that come to the house at night, whether if they get in and steal all your crap or not, or hurt you. And then dawn is basically kind of a, what they would call a cleanup round, or sort of, you just do a whole bunch of different things, draw a couple of cards, and then over here it just basically says to, if I can do it with one hand, flip back to the beginning. And there you go. You flip the book back and you start all over again. And the goal is to try to work your way through this whole deck here, staying alive. If you can get all the way through all 3 chapters and have at least one person still alive, you've won the game, which I have not. I have not won this game yet. And so that's just a real brief thing. I will probably do another video, hopefully soon, that will be talking more about some of the things that I've seen inside this game that have been a little disturbing and given me a little bit of pause, or made me a little sad, as far as like when you read some of the things of what's going on. And so that's all. This War of Mine, the board game. Thanks for watching, and I will see you guys at the next video. Yeah, and Kitty will too.